Hello, I am David W. Parker. This is Programming Today I Learned, WebGL series episode 69. This is going to be an introduction to using objects and a little bit of JSON in here for you to check out. And let's go ahead and take a look. So before we jump in, I just want to look at this older last episode, and you can see we've had this init vertex buffers with vertices and indices for quite a while, and we have been setting the stride and the attributes of this thing, and then figuring out the in, and basically passing those into this render buffers function, which lives in GL-utils. And what we're going to be able to do is get rid of this entirely, because all of this information is going to be stored within an object. So let's go ahead and see what we got. So we have this new cube, and it's basically just straight JSON. So it has several keys, and each of the values are going to be corresponding values that we need and can use. So we have this attribute key, and within the attribute key we have a color and a position. Color is going to have its own size, its offset, as well as the buffer data provided. And then a position is going to have its own size, offset, and buffer data. So previous episodes we hard-coded these sets of information and then pass those in to the objects, whether we would say the vertices right here, and then build it out automatically. And then this way is going to be a little bit cleaner. And we're also going to have this other key with indices and a key for stride. So as we go down here, we'll get to where the meat of everything happens. We're going to have our initialization node, our animation, everything is very standard here. And when we finally get down to the draw, you're going to see that we have state.program.render buffers on this cube. And so as opposed to what we would do before, where we would initialize the vertex buffers here based off different arguments, we're going to get rid of that entirely and then say render buffer on the cubes because we can get rid of all of this information here. That's all already provided on the cube object. And then finally we will set up the rest of our matrices and draw the elements, and that is it for the entirety of it. We did make some changes to GL-utils to make this easier and able to happen. So because we're using object notation, JSON, for everything, we're not going to have the double loops, and we don't really need the double loops anyway, but we're just going to be pulling things out by their keys. And so we have this object, and we know that the object's going to have attributes. We're going to go ahead and grab the name of the current attribute that resides within the vertex shader, and go ahead and grab that, and we can grab its buffer data because we know that's going to live in there, as well as its offset, and we can use the buffer data to get the bytes per element, which is the f size in previous episodes. And we also know we have the object's indices provided too if it has indices. So this is a lot cleaner too now. We're only iterating once through. We're not doing any name comparisons and whatnot based off another array that's passed in. We're just saying, hey, we have this object, and we know that it's going to have things that we know exists, such as attributes, and let's go ahead and render the buffers out for those. So let's go ahead and take a look, and then this is basically a cube given the data provided. And that's it for this episode. This is the first part in a few different episodes we will look at of objects, and yeah, so we'll go and clean it up and make a few more objects and do a little more interesting things with them. But that's it for this episode. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and subscribe, give me a like. Those will both help me a lot on YouTube. Share this on social media, and go to ProgrammingTIL.com and sign up for my newsletter, and follow me on Twitter as well. Thank you. Have a great one.